Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chris from my channel, Chris P44S, and Rathian quest, pink Rathian guide, question mark. That's it. It's just a guide video for those two things. If anybody was wondering, I was just going to pack them together because they're super time consuming. Well, at least the first part is, and the second part can be, and the third, really. So I didn't really record any footage of me doing the investigation to find the pink Rathian, which is the question mark Rathian quest. So I'm just going to talk about it real quick and like how I did it and what I did. For the first part, you obviously have to go to the Wild Spire Waste and find the question mark Rathian tracks, which is time consuming, and there's no real order of anything there. You basically have to go through every part of the map. But the nice thing is you only have to get the investigation halfway up. So like that bar, you only need to fill it halfway up, and then your handler will send you back to ecological research, and you'll kind of pretty much wrap up the quest right there. Now you do still have to fill up half the bar, but what I actually did was I actually just started farming other monsters to get new items, because obviously this is pretty early in high rank. So I just started farming other monsters, and what's pretty cool is that there's actually other Rathian tracks like in all the other worlds, or at least the Wild Spire Waste and the Choral Highlands for sure. Now I'm pretty sure I found some in the Ancient Forest, but don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty positive I found some there. So it's really easy just to get half the bar up, go to ecological research after the handler tells you to go there, and then just go start farming for whatever kind of gear you want or whatever kind of weapon you're trying to make, really, because you can basically just do it all at the same time. Okay, so with that part done, then you go to the Choral Highland, and this is where you find the pink Rathian. And so like the first time I fought the pink Rathian, it was stupid hard. Like that whole day or that night when I was fighting it, I really didn't have that much high rank gear on because I didn't think it was like a super necessity, but it really is. So that's why while you're farming, I would try to farm for armor. I mean, you probably do have pretty good weapons, and the only thing, like the big tip, I'm going to go over my equipment and gear at the end of the video as to what I use, but the big thing is now that you can make like some of the dragon element stuff, the pink Rathian and all the other Rathians are weak to dragon. So my advice would be to make a dragon element weapon, because that worked really well for me to like break its parts and to deal lots of damage. I think the whole pink Rathian fight took me like 20 minutes after I farmed and got my gear up. You can see my gear is like a little bit better. Everything's pretty much high rank. I still have some Zora Magnaros stuff, but it's still pretty good considering where you are in the game. But you're definitely going to need like a lot of defense to fight this monster. And another big thing that I did, aside from bumping my defense, getting a dragon element weapon, was I used some of like the Rathian equipment, like the helmet, the Rathian high rank, because it has the health boost, and I have one other skill with health boost too that you'll see at the end of this video. But that was a really big thing for me. I think like right now in the video, I didn't even eat at this. Maybe I did. I think I ate one meal, but it gave me like plus 50, and then I have like level 3 HP boost, so I get like another 50. So the Rathian is dealing like pretty good damage to me, but because my HP is so high, it's really easy for me to stay in the fight. And in this fight I did faint one time. So like that's pretty much it for gear, or like big secrets about gear, I guess. Another thing I tried to do is, you can see there's a lot of the other monsters coming in to fight, which happens a lot in high rank, and this is good and bad, but I always look at it as a positive. Like the other monsters will come in and deal damage to the pink Rathian, so like it kind of gives you a break, and they can take their attention from you or your Palico, and so it can give your character a break, really. The Orodorgan is did deal a lot of damage, and then another big one was the Legiana, who comes down around this area if it happens. I guess the Legiana can be somewhere else, but I'm pretty sure he or she or whatever it is did come down for part of this. And it's just really good because those monsters do deal big damage, not only to you but to the other monsters. So this is actually a plus. Usually when they start fighting, I kind of back off and let them aggro each other. So then I come back in and I'll start sneaking hits, and I'm still using the charge blade. I probably always will be. But then I'll come back in and start charging my vials and start dealing damage again. And as just for any like tactical tips or like fighting tips, a big thing that I do, like I said, is I'll let the other monsters start to fight. Like I'll let them fight other monsters, and then I'll come back in. That's a big thing for me. Obviously, I have the shield, so I'll use the shield a lot. But where I deal most of my damage, and what's nice about the Rathian is it stays on the ground quite a bit compared to other wyverns like Legiana and stuff. So it's really easy to get in with him, but I pretty much try to stay under its legs, or if I'm in front of it and it starts to charge up an attack, I'll try to spin in front and then I target its legs. So I kind of try to target the groin area, I guess, or like its waist, right up by its legs, like in that soft spot in the underbelly, or I'll try to target its legs. Because what happens to me a lot, if I go other places, obviously you're going to bounce off, like your weapon's going to bounce off, and you're not going to have a very effective attack, I guess. So that's really it for my effective strategy, I guess. So just to re-summarize, with the gear, go with a HP boost, go with a dragon element weapon, and get some armor with high defense. And you can get some fire defense too. I don't think I have too much, but I'm assuming Zoro Magnarok's armor has fire defense. I could be wrong. You'll see the stats at the end of this video. Magnarok's armor is like super easy to make because you have a lot of the parts right after you get into high rank. So it's a good idea to get that armor. Yeah, but as far as fighting tips really go, is you try and mount the beast, I guess, when you can. I did bring flash pods. I used flash pods. It might be a good idea to bring traps or a trank bomb. I guess that goes without saying. And if you want to capture it, if not, I would bring some mega barrels, because it will go back to its lair and pass out for a little while, and then you could use the mega barrels there or large barrels. But the flash pods worked really well for me as well. So, and the big thing, I think, what I did break a lot of parts, and I think the big reason, not only because I have the charge axe, but because I had the dragon element. I feel like when you fight monsters with the element that they're weakest to, you actually end up, and you have like one of the weapons that works better for breaking their bones, I guess. But I feel like you just break them more when you're using the element they're weak to. I don't know. I could just be seeing things, but I feel like I'm breaking a lot of parts lately. I do the super a lot though with the charge blade. Not only just this super, but the other super, like the big super with 5 vials. And that seems to work really well. So that's pretty much my guide for Rathian, and then fighting the pink Rathian itself. So now I'm just going to go on to gear, and then I'll finish up the video from there.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So this is the gear that I use to defeat the pink Rathian, or the Rathian quest. I just want to go over it with you real quick, in case you're wondering. So for my charge blade, I went with the Dragon Bone Cutter 2, which isn't like super great, but it does do a lot of dragon elemental damage. And for those of you guys who don't know, the pink Rathian is exceptionally weak to dragon element. I used the Rathian Helm A, mostly because it has a really high health boost and also poison attack. The other main charge blade I use is the Rathian blade that actually has poison attack, so that's why I chose Rathian Helm, or that's why I have it on right now. I'm using the Zora Hide Alpha, which has blast attack and windproof. I'm using the Pookie Van braces. They're kind of lower, but they have poison attack and poison resistance to go with my other blade. the Rathian coil, which also has another health boost, so that brings my health boost to 3 and 2 level 2 poison resistance. But I have another level 2 poison resistance here. I'll show you guys my skills overall in a second. And then I'm using the Zora Spurs for Bombarder and Earplugs. I actually really like Earplugs. For those of you guys who don't know, Earplugs is basically when the monster roars, you'll come back from that stun status faster. I'm using a defense charm level 2, and I'm using the health booster, the little smoke stick that you stab into the ground. So these are my skills over here. We can take a look at them. So I pretty much prevent poison, which is nice, plus 50 to health, plus 10 defense, poison buildup plus 10%, bonus plus 10, blast attack plus 10, build up and plus 10, bombarder explosive plus 20, and slightly reduce effects of the weak monster's roar. This actually does help even for stronger monsters. You'll just come back like a little bit quicker. And windproof slightly reduces the effects of minor wind pressure. That's the same thing like when monsters land, they kind of like stun you too, or when they're like flapping their wings, they kind of stun you. So this is the gear that I use to defeat the pink Rathian. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.